Welcome to the weird and wacky world of Hero to Zero, the only show that travels the globe in search of life's greatest heroes and ultimate zeros. Forget sports stars, celebrities, media tycoons, explorers and the like. Hero to Zero brings you the real-life stories of everyday people that rise to the top, crash and burn on the way, or just end up being a total loser either way. In today's show, the adrenaline and excitement of extreme downhill office chair racing, poncho honchos go for a Guinness World Record, and wannabe pop stars rock to the sound of their own tune at the US Air Guitar Championships.
I said, you know what? This is it. If I slip, I slip. If I break a bone, I break a bone.
Later in the show, we take a trip to India and meet the man with the longest ear hair in the world. It's seconds out for an old age boxer, and 4,345,027 dominoes and one sparrow take a tumble in a new world record. So grab your passport and your stapler as we head to Germany for the ultimate in office sports. It's a common known fact that office chairs can be bad for your back. In Germany, where they've introduced the brand new sport of extreme downhill office chair racing, broken limbs and severe head injuries are also very possible dangers to the contenders of this increasingly popular sport. The first German championships in office chair racing took place in Bad Königssee, and 70 heroes and zeros took the chance to bring their office chair out into the sunshine and put it through its paces.
The idea comes out of Switzerland. One of our friends comes from Switzerland. They have had it there for a while, and he said we should do it in Germany. So we set it up, and you can see that it is being well received. There's a lot of action here on the streets.
No expense was spared as everyday office chairs were heavily modified in a bid to create the ultimate downhill races. Riders were also very competitive, picking up some impressive speed after launching themselves from the very steep starting ramp. The only rule was the obligatory crash helmet, and many people needed it. Some contestants took to dressing up for the occasion. The race down to the Oldenwalder Street was mainly downhill, and dozens of the racers fell off their rides, and many chairs didn't make it to the end of the 170-metre race intact.
It's actually quite scary. It is quite steep up there on the ramp, and the ramp on the road, you have to have respect for that. But this is a great event, and it's such a one-off.
The organisers are hoping that it won't be a one-off though. They are already preparing for another race next year. So let's recap on the hero and zero status of extreme downhill office chair racing contenders. Back in the pits, many of the modified chairs were pathetic efforts that clearly made no improvement to handling or speed. However, special commendation should be given to this contestant who had cleverly installed a handy toilet roll dispenser to their chair. An especially useful addition considering none of the chairs featured any brakes or steering. Coming up on Hero to Zero, American rockers grab some air for hordes of screaming fans, a South Colombian village goes loco for a poncho, and Indians prove that everyone can be good at something even if it's totally pointless. Plus, Dutch domino stackers topple their way into the record books and we reveal our ultimate heroes and zeros. There's many heroes and zeros in this simple tale of toppling as many dominoes as possible in as many different ways imaginable. Domino Day in the Netherlands is a spectacle which is broadcast live around the world. Yet who would believe that such a seemingly harmless activity would be surrounded by controversy and scandal? Robin Paul Vigers, founder and creator of Domino Day, started building dominoes in 1986 after being approached by an unnamed KLM employee who saw dominoes toppled on a small scale in Japan and suggested it might become a new marketing tool for the Netherlands instead of clogs and cheese. Recently, Domino Day made world news, not just for the record attempt itself, but for a bizarre incident involving a sparrow, several thousand dominoes, and at least one very angry domino stacker. The sparrow in question knocked over 23,000 dominoes after flying through an open window, and would have tipped all of them before the official attempt if not for built-in gaps in the setup. The bird was dispatched execution style by firing squad for fear it would knock over more dominoes. The incident sparked outrage amongst animal lovers, and the killing even became a criminal matter after it was discovered that the bird was a house sparrow, protected as an endangered species by Netherlands law. The incident received so much attention that it led to plans to have the bird enshrined at the Rotterdam Natural History Museum. There is no doubt that the Dutch are the world leaders at domino toppling. Some of the domino arrangements are truly incredible, and the creativity and dedication of the people that set them up is inspiring. To add to the excitement of this world record attempt, some gaps were left to be completed in a race against time, with the stackers under pressure to position the dominoes without making a mistake before the main chain reaction of toppling dominoes reached them. For creating such an amazing spectacle and successfully toppling more than 4 million dominoes, the Dutch stackers of Domino Day are definitely heroes. As for Robin Paul Viegers, who organised the cold-blooded murder of a poor, innocent and sweet little bird, you should be ashamed of yourself. But the real hero of Domino Day is, of course, the sparrow. After a simple life searching for seeds and berries in the woodland of Holland, it was thrust upon the world stage only to be brutally murdered. Yet through its death, this small and helpless bird taught us all a lesson that life itself is worth much more than 23,000 dominoes. Air guitar aficionados from across the United States gathered in New York recently to duke it out for the title of Air Guitar Champion. Just in case you didn't know, air guitarists drum the air in time to rock music to form a fake guitar riff. Rocking out on stage to a huge crowd definitely has cred, but the real question is, are these airy rockers guitar heroes or just a bunch of sad, overweight fashion challenge zeros? The contestants participated in 2 rounds. In the first, each competitor performs with a song of their own choosing. In the second, the top 2 competitors from round 1 compete by performing with a surprise song. In each round, the contestants are judged on technical merit and the somewhat obscure quality of airness, meaning how well they portray a real guitar just using their hands.
The literal definition of airness is the extent to which the performance transcends the imitation of a real art form and becomes an art form in and of itself.
The selection of finalists included groups with names like McNallica from Boston, Skeety Joan and Ski Joan Band, and The Ultimate Loser from New Orleans. Andrew William Ocean Litz brought home the trophy, a clear plexiglass box filled with, you guessed it, air for his performance.
For that second round, I said, you know what? This is it. If I slip, I slip. If I break a bone, I break a bone. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, I walk away with this air trophy that I'm holding right here. And I did.
Okay, so it's time to break out the Zero-ometer to determine if this bunch of wannabe rockers are heroes or zeros. Some of the contestants vying for the title were without doubt zero material. And as the organiser of such an obscure and some may say dubious event, how does Kristen Rucker measure up on the Zero-ometer? William Ocean walked away with a trophy, but is he really a hero? Those tight denim shorts aren't doing him any favours in the fashion department, not to mention the pink headband and 80s haircut. But he did take out the championship with a gutsy do-or-die effort, so William, many may call you a loser, and probably will, but on Hero to Zero, you've reached hero status. residents of Nobsa, a Colombian town located some 93 miles north of Bogota, decided to make what they hope will be the largest poncho in the world. Dozens of people took part in making the poncho, which weighed in at 700 kilograms and used 1,500 pounds of wool produced by hundreds of sheep to mark International Poncho Day. Nobsa Mayor Oscar Eduardo Titino was certain that the largest poncho in the world had been made.
We are very happy. As you can see, it's a job involving a lot of craftsmen and a lot of people from Nobsa. We undoubtedly have made the largest poncho in the world here.
Yes, that is the huge poncho draped over the local church. 720 sheep lost their fleece and were the obvious losers in this bizarre South American tale. Some of the villagers' pets wore ponchos of their own, including sheep, dogs and parrots. But ultimately, it's the villagers of Nobsa that are the ultimate zeros for wasting so much time on making a giant poncho that doesn't even look like a poncho. And anyway, who ever heard of a cold church? If you've ever considered securing your own entry into the highly respected Guinness Book of Records, you can forget domino stacking, record-breaking hot dog eating, and squeezing 20 of your mates into a mini. If you really want true recognition for your outstanding achievements, you should look no further than securing the record for the world's longest ear tufts. A man from India's northern Kanpur made it into the Guinness Book of World Records for growing the world's longest ear tufts, measuring an incredible 25 centimetres. A grocer by profession, Radhikant Bajpai entered the record books for having the longest ear tufts in 2003. The earlier record was held by B.D. Tyagi of the central Indian city of Bhopal, with 10.2 centimetre long ear tufts. He is, however, dismayed at the lack of government appreciation of the feat.
The government is not providing any assistance, and society is too apathetic. People consider sporting long hair on ears to be an act of foolishness. Had the government commended the feat, society would have also been quick to accord recognition.
Radhikant's son, however, never felt that his father's hobby was weird.
I have never felt the ear tufts are odd, because I am used to seeing them. Once I had gone to gain admission in college along with my father. People were staring, and then I realised that it was something unusual.
Radhikant's unusual feat has earned the market area due limelight.
We feel proud to have one of the most respectable persons from our market gaining entry into the Guinness Book. Our market has gained fame and recognition along with him.
Radhikant, who drew inspiration from the principal of Christchurch College, uses a special shampoo to maintain his hair. And such is his obsession that he has stopped wearing rings and necklaces so as not to damage his hair. In the extremely competitive and cutthroat world of record-breaking ear tuft growing, there are many heroes and zeros. Our hearts go out to B.D. Tyagi, who's spent many years grooming and maintaining his mammoth ear follicles to world-class standards, only to be blown away by Radhikant's 25 centimetre monster tufts. Radhikant Bajpai himself now has the respect of his local community, not to mention the Guinness Book of World Records. Even Radhikant's son, Satyam, is a true hero who stood by his father in the early days before he was recognised as the world's #1. But the real zeros of this story are the government officials of the Kanpur region. It's obvious that Radhikant's ear tufts have brought good fortune to the remote Indian region, and if the government had given their support, who knows what might have been? International fame and fortune? Possibly a huge influx of tourism into the area from all over the world. We even might have seen excessively hairy ears on the catwalks of Paris. Kanpur government, shame on you. still to come, a 60-year-old boxer gets ready for one round too many, and we check the zero-ometer for Hero to Zero status. At the ripe young age of 60, former super lightweight boxing champion Sal Mambi is stepping back into the ring and is hungry for a title fight. Sal Mambi has been training himself at John's Gym, a South Bronx oasis suspended in time. The perfect fit for a former world champion who is still fighting on at the age of 60. Mambi isn't skipping rope, sparring, working the speed bag and pounding punching bags in the musky converted postal station just to stay in shape. He is after a shot at winning another title.
I fought the best in the world. At one time, I was the best in the world. If I could reach that level again, there's no harm in trying. I don't want to sit back and be one of those shoulda, coulda, woulda people. I'm gonna give it a shot. If I fall short, at least I tried.
Sean Sullivan, editor-in-chief of Boxing Digest magazine, says there is little doubt that physically Sal Mambi can fight again.
He's a veteran. He's 60. He's almost 61 years old. He's been in the ring since 1969. So he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing in the ring. It's just a matter of can his body react to what his mind tells it to do.
Mambi, who was first crowned WBC light welterweight champion 28 years ago, recently became what is believed to be the oldest boxer ever in a sanctioned bout when he lost a 10-round draw in the Cayman Islands. Despite the loss, Sean Sullivan says even at the age of 60, Mambi can win again.
Oh, well, he can win fights. The way he is now is just a matter of finding the right opposition. I think, and that's not up to him, but that's up to his team and his management and, promoters and matchmakers.
Even at his age, he's still lean and mean and impressively has no grey hairs in his cornrows. A born and bred New Yorker, Mambi is a superb defensive boxer who failed to go the distance only once in his remarkable career when he was stopped at age 46 by American Daryl Coley. Mambi won the World Boxing Council light welterweight title from South Korean Kim Sang-hyun in February 1980 by stopping him in the 14th round in Seoul. Mambi thinks that after 2 or 3 warm-up fights, he would match up well against Briton Ricky Hatton, recognised by Ring Magazine as the world's best super lightweight. But Mambi says he was not picky.
I'm looking to win a title. With all of them that they got out there, one of them belonged to me. So if I get one, I can say no mas with dignity. I did what I wanted to do.
Sure, old Sal Mambi is no mamby-pamby, but let's face it, even Sylvester Stallone looked ridiculous in the last Rocky movie, playing a comeback boxer at the age of 60. So champ, you may think you're a hero, but on Hero to Zero, you're an out for the count zero. In this episode of Hero to Zero, we travel to the 4 distant corners of the earth in search of life's true heroes and ultimate zeros. From high-speed, extreme downhill action straight from the Bavarian hills of Germany to the high-stakes and nail-biting excitement at the US Air Guitar Championships. We brought you tales of total dedication from the highly competitive and controversial world of Indian ear tuft growing. Unravelled the story behind the world's largest poncho and revealed the darker side of dominoes. But the question is, of all the colourful and quirky characters featured in this show, which is the greatest hero and who's the biggest zero? Let's find out. When it comes to taking the prize as the ultimate hero, there were 3 main contenders. First up, there's the downhill genius that modified his office chair to include a toilet roll. Extreme office chair racing is obviously very dangerous, and this inspired chair modification is likely to prove very useful in this terrifying new sport. Next on the shortlist is William Ocean Litt, a truly spirited performer and highly talented artist who obviously knows no bounds when it comes to playing an incredibly demanding instrument such as air. But the Hero to Zero ultimate hero of the show would have to be Radhikant Bajpayee. Against all odds, stiff competition, and even the lack of support from his local government, Raducanu still managed to secure the world record and bring fame and good fortune to his community. Who knows, if more of us were to grow long ear tufts, perhaps the world would be a better place. And as for the ultimate zero, the bunny from Bavaria definitely deserves a mention, as does the mayor from the Colombian town of Nobsa, who wasted a ton of wool on a poncho that wasn't even confirmed as a record breaker. But the number one zero of them all would have to be Domino Day's Robin Paul Viges, for shooting the bird and becoming a villain on a national scale. Robin Paul Viges, you're our ultimate zero. The world in which we live in is full of winners and losers, champions and chumps, and heroes and zeros. Like the Chinese rappers that keep it real with the Beijing scene.
We rap about Chinese food, Chinese dishes, and Chinese ordinary romance, daily life, daily struggle, emotion, yeah.
And the traditional Indian wrestlers that seem to run away more than fight, or the 72 Elvis impersonators that prove the king of rock and roll still lives, and the finely tuned athletes of the ancient English sport of cheese rolling. Meet these and many more like them on Hero to Zero.